CBS 12 News at 6 o'clock. The federal government making a major push to save American lives. Free COVID tests and N95 masks being distributed now. We'll tell you what you can do to get them.
And then the governor's push to ban critical race theory moves forward in the state Senate. What this means for your kids in their classrooms.
And another cold start to the morning, although not as cold as yesterday. We're going to talk about a warming trend and when rain chances increase.
You're watching CBS 12 News this morning.
Hey, it's cold out there once again this morning. Good morning, I'm Matt Lincoln.
I'm Ashley Glass, 46 in Okeechobee. That is really cold by South Florida standards. Right, Lauren? I'm not being dramatic here.
You are not.
It's downright cold.
But it's not in the 30s like it was yesterday morning, so that's a little nicer. I still have the seat warmers cranked all the way up, though. 55 degrees in West Palm Beach, 49 in Vero. Fort Pierce, Indiantown, Belle Glade, and Okeechobee all at 47 right now. 53 in Jupiter. We've got that east wind out there, so temperatures are moderating a little bit more out there as we move through the day. 58 degrees by 8 o'clock. We are at 71 by 11, so warming a little faster out there today. It will be warmer as we head into the afternoon. Mid-70s outside for us today. 75 for Indiantown and West Palm Beach. Belle Glade's at 77 later on. Okeechobee stopping at 76. You'll see on the hour by hour the direction the clouds are moving in. So winds today more out of the east, southeast. I think we'll stay rain free. But tomorrow, the moisture content starts to build back in. So showers are going to be possible as we head into your Thursday afternoon and into Thursday evening, and then even into Friday and your weekend. The rain chance is going to stay a little elevated. Now, specific timing, still kind of hard to narrow down because there's so many changes and we're still so far out from this weekend. Yes, it's only a few days away, but it's long enough in the weather world for changes to still happen. But just a heads up, at some point this weekend, especially on Friday, we're going to end up with some rainfall across the area because of a cold front. We'll talk more about that still ahead. Matt, Ashley.
6:02, let's take a live look at the White House this morning where the Biden administration is fighting the Omicron variant as it's surging right now, and their new weapons, COVID tests to take it home, and those N95 masks considered the best for protection. It's all being sent right to you for free.
And the Omicron variant is still spreading, and while symptoms may be less severe, Americans are dying. Right now, new models predict 50,000 to 300,000 more Americans could die by mid-March.
It's stark, it's grim when you see it like that. We have team coverage for you this morning. Sam covering the announcement from the president about giving away those free masks.
Let's start with Kara, where just hours ago, a federal website to get free at-home COVID tests officially launched.
Yeah, Kara, this came as a surprise to many of us. It wasn't supposed to launch until midnight, but then yesterday afternoon already it was live.
Yeah, that's right. And it really was a pleasant surprise to see how smoothly it did launch. The Biden administration quietly rolling out this website here, covidtest.gov. That's the new government website. And all of this was ahead of today's formal launch. The reason they wanted to test the site out at a limited capacity first, just to make sure there weren't any technical problems. And as I mentioned, so far, so good. It was so fast and easy to do. I'm going to walk you through it. First, you go to that website here, covidtest.gov. Right on the homepage, you'll click Order Free At-Home Test. It brings you to this second screen. All you need to enter is your first, last name, as well as your shipping address, your home address. You can order up to 4 tests for each household. The test will ship within 7 to 12 days of ordering and will be sent through the U.S. Postal Service. Again, all you need to enter name and address for shipping. Shipping is free, so don't enter any credit card info. If you want, though, you can add an email address. That way they can send you updates on your order. I did this, and it was really nice. I got a confirmation number. You can kind of track it through to see when it is expected. Now, if you do need more tests for your household, starting this Saturday, people with private health insurance will be reimbursed for the full cost of buying tests. Matt, Ashley, we're going to continue to stay on top of this, monitor the site, and check in with you guys in the next 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, Kara, I just went through this. These tests run you $20, $30 even. They're impossible to find at pharmacies, so this could be a big help. Our team coverage continues right now with Sam at the COVID Alert Desk.
Yeah, Kara gives us the details about the tests. Sam's got the information about the masks. What can you tell us here, Sam?
Well, we know the Biden administration will be distributing 400 million N95 masks for free from the government's strategic national stockpile. mile. They'll be given out through thousands of local pharmacies and community sites to make sure people have access to more protective masks. Now, the move comes after the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention updated its mask guidance last week, saying N95 and KN95 masks are more effective at protecting against the virus, especially the more contagious Omicron variant. Health experts say we should ditch the cloth coverings because they are not as effective as other masks. And they also say our masks should be well fitted, covering both our nose and mouth. Again, the plan will lean heavily on pharmacies to distribute these masks, as they have also been an essential part of the administration's vaccine campaign. Matt?
Sam, thank you. President Biden will have his first press conference of the year today. It comes just a day before, marking his first year since he took office. This all starts at 4 tonight. You can watch it online on CBS12.com or by downloading our app, CBS 12 News.
6:05 is the time right now. These free tests, they come at a critical time for our schools. Just yesterday, nearly 300 students tested positive for COVID in Palm Beach County schools. That's the highest case count reported since August, when the Delta variant was really spreading in our schools. Last week, more than 1,000 students and 300 school employees tested positive in the district. That includes the leader, Superintendent Mike Burke. He's now recovering from COVID. Burke said he got sick after he got home from a trip to Tallahassee last week to meet with lawmakers, but his symptoms were mild. He's been working remote, but Burke's back in the office today with a school board meeting set for tonight.
All right, 6:06 this morning, the governor's push to ban critical race theory is moving forward in the state Senate. That's the idea taught only in Ivy League universities, that racism is embedded in American institutions and laws. The governor wants to ban the teaching in our schools and also workplaces and employee training sessions. Republicans say the bill simply aims to make sure that topics like history are taught with accuracy.
What we shouldn't be doing is imposing a specific perspective as what should be the student's perspective.
But Democrats, like local state Senator Tina Polsky from Boca Raton, says this is a distraction from real issues facing the state and that the theory is not taught in public schools.
We're making it more uncomfortable to be a teacher. And these people are going to be worried about everything they say.
So you may remember the State Board of Education passed a ban like this last summer. Under this proposal, teachers would be allowed to have talks on topics like sexism, slavery, and segregation.
Lawmakers are also debating a new bill that would allow school districts to install cameras in school zones to catch anyone speeding. Now, if this bill passes, school districts would be responsible for installing their own cameras. But the cameras, experts say, would pay for themselves, since some of the money from the fines would go right back to the school district. We're talking a lot more about it all morning long. In 30 minutes, you'll hear from the friend of a 10-year-old girl from Fort Pierce who died while waiting for the school bus last year. What they think of this legislation in the works. Our Madeline Montgomery has a live report next half hour.
Well, 6:07 this morning, the mayor of Boynton Beach is proposing a new plan to create more transparency and accountability between police and the community. This comes just weeks after a 13-year-old boy died on a dirt bike as a police officer tried to pull him over. The mayor wants to create a community advisory board with people appointed by city commissioners. They would go through the police department's community police academy and meet 4 times a year to talk about the city's crime stats.
For me, I always want to make sure that we're doing the best that we can, and the status quo doesn't seem to work well enough. So having a conversation in a safe environment for the community to speak with the police department, I feel is very advantageous.
The mayor and police chief will present the idea to city commissioners at their meeting next month.
6:08 is the time right now, and this morning Brightline's chugging along with its test runs from West Palm Beach to Brevard County in the Orlando area. But some people, they're really not happy about the high-speed rail's expansion along the Treasure Coast. We're talking to them about it too. The city of Stewart putting pressure on Brightline. It's all in this 8-page document obtained exclusively by CBS 12 News. So in this letter, city claims trains are running on a 100-year-old bridge that needs to be replaced. But according to state records, the bridge was inspected last year in January and given the all clear. Brightline says they also did a study along the bridge and got the green light to pass through the area. But all of this still has some residents, like Charles Anderson, worried. He lives near the tracks.
And we seen a train hit a car. The same one they talking about coming through here. It's ridiculous. You can hear the vibration of your house. You can sit there and watch TV and you go boom, 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 boom.
Brightline will do one round-trip test run each day until the end of the year. The permanent routes are expected to roll out next year, along with plans for stops on the Treasure Coast.
Our 609, a live look at PBIA, where cell phone companies and airlines are battling over the airwaves. Coming up, how the rollout of stronger cell service is impacting the ability to fly safely.
And then in just hours, the Senate will vote on a highly debated voting rights bill from Capitol Hill. Where it all stands, and is it still doomed to fail? That's coming up in 5 minutes.